Okay, the next question. How can young adults balance the desire to please others with the need to assert their own career aspirations and boundaries, especially when faced with conflicting expectations or demands?
Please read it again.
How can young adults balance the desire to please others with the need to assert their own career aspirations and boundaries, especially when faced with conflicting expectations or demands?
Yeah. If I give you a perspective as a person who is no longer that young, although I'm young at heart, what you do not know right now as a young person is that 20 years from now, the people you are comparing yourself with will be in very different situations. So right now it's because you're in school or you're young adults and you're still together with them, but with time will tell the difference between how you will have lived. Yeah. So my advice to young people, and this is a profound truth, even in God's word and even outside of God's word, it's a principle that what you reap you shall sow. Yeah. And then the quality of how you live today is very, very important. Yeah. So you can choose to go with the crowd, but in the long run, in the long run, the results, by the way, the results will be there to show. I mean, when I look at, people I was in school with, primary school with, even now, or high school, we're in very different situations, circumstances are completely different. And yet, we were very close then, And the learning I have from that is that, everybody's path is completely different. Yeah, we might do the same course, live in the same neighborhood, maybe even wear the same type of clothes. Yeah, we might think we are very same or similar, but time will separate us. Yeah. So what I want young people to understand through this program today is that follow your course and stay true to it. Yeah. The path that you believe God has called you to. Yeah. It might not be the same as the next person. In fact, they might be questioning your decisions. But you see, in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, it is you who will be reaping out of the choices that you make. And so that's why it's important for you to align those choices with who God has made you and what brings you most fulfillment. If you don't do that right now, I can tell you, there are people I meet at 50, 60 who are greatly regretting their lives. I coach them. I coach people who are 50. And for them, they are regretting, I chose this course because my father told me. And now I ended up in marketing and I'm not happy with it. 50 years of age. And now they're trying to course correct at 50. Okay, tell me how much damage there has been. First of all, you've probably lived a big chunk of your life unfulfilled and unhappy because you are trying to please somebody else. Yeah? Never mind, it is you who will sleep in your bed and have the feelings of unfulfillment, So please, I urge young people, peer pressure is something we need to really minimize. And that's why it's important to have friends of yours or people who are older than you to help you see differently. Because right now when you're making that choice, it doesn't look like it will affect you much. But I can tell you in 30 years' time, they say when a plane misses its course by just 1 degree, throughout the course of that flight, just 1 degree doesn't look like so off, isn't it? 1 degree is very small. Remember the protractor, 1 degree, not so much. But with time, what does that mean? The impact is much greater. You get 1 degree just missed. You will end up in a destination that you're not supposed to be in. So the plane was trying to fly to Tokyo, but it will end up in Melbourne. Okay, that's an extreme example. But that's how serious that 1 degree error can result in a completely different destiny. You get? So that's why I'm speaking to you as a young person. Just making those errors because of peer pressure can cost you significant pain in your life. Yeah? Whether it's in relationships, in career choices, in anything you do, making a wrong choice can cost you, like going in the wilderness for 40 years, like the Israelites did. Yeah? So please, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Talk to as many people as you can. Yeah? Try as much as possible. While I say career decision is not a formula, but do some, make choices that closely align with what you're feeling in the heart. And when you make the wrong decisions, you know it in your heart. You actually know. Yeah? Sometimes it's even better to wait than rush into a decision. Yeah? I've seen young people who say, look, I'm not sure, like my colleague's daughter, I'm not sure yet. Can I just take a break and think about this? Yeah? It's okay to do that. You don't have to join the university like everyone else in the same year, for example. Yeah? Sometimes it's okay to say, look, I will volunteer working for my auntie or for other people as I navigate my path. I hope that makes sense, Catherine.
It does make sense. Thank you. What are some effective strategies for young individuals to process and cope with setbacks or failures in their career pursuits, and how can they leverage those experiences for personal growth and development?
Catherine, your questions are deep. Hey, that is okay.
We just want to know.
Effective strategies for?
Effective strategies for us, the youth, to process and cope with failures or setbacks.
Okay. So, Catherine, let me tell you, as young people, when I think back from being a young person to where I am now, maybe how I saw mistakes and setbacks then is very different from how I see them today. And sometimes it seems like a cliche that, failure is not final. By the way, it's not. Especially in today's world, failures are not final. The thing that I have seen that is so exciting about this world, in the past, when you make a mistake, it costed you so much in that the doors are all closed for you. But today, with the kind of world of work we live in, where it's a gig economy, you can actually thrive in anything you want, isn't it? Yeah. Because you can even self-teach yourself skills and utilize them to make a living. So you're no longer, unlike our times where you are reliant on one choice you make of the course. And that kind of dictated where you will end up. In today's world, that's completely it's no longer the case. So a setback is okay. To me, actually, I've even seen employers who ask young people, tell me how many mistakes you've made. Give me an example of a mistake you made. Why? Because it tells me about your teachability. Yeah? There's something in the world we talk about, learning agility. Yeah, it's a big term to say, how fast are you in learning new things and navigating complex situations? That's what employers are looking for. Because even in the world of work, it's not perfect. You see, in school you're taught you must learn the formula and get the correct answer. But in the real life, it's not like that. There are no correct answers. We're always navigating. Yeah? So it's not, because life is not formulaic. Yeah? It's not formulaic in any way. Yeah? The workplace is not like that. Yeah? The family life is not like that either. Yeah? There are no rule books, no references sometimes. So it's about how fast you as an individual, humble enough to learn, number one. Two, humble enough to learn from your mistakes, yeah, and take the right course of action to change course, to adapt to a situation. That's what most workplaces are looking for. Adaptable people, flexibility, yeah. So coping is about, one, realizing that failure is not final, yeah. Setbacks are there in everybody's life, first of all. We used to think that there are some people who are very perfect. That's the perception I had. But there's nothing like that. It's just that, like with social media, people pitch a perfect life, but it doesn't exist. Yeah. If you speak to all these people who look very well put together, they will tell you I suffer from anxiety before I go to present. And from your side, you'll not see like they are looking like they're struggling, isn't it?
Yes.
So let me tell you, as a young person, sometimes you feel like it's the end. My failure is the end. My D is the end. But today's world is so awesome in that you can shift courses so easily. You can shift into something completely new. As long as you have that curiosity to learn, there's nothing you can't do. That's the truth. There's nothing you can't do. In fact, today's world is so global, you can go anywhere you want. And people are doing global jobs and all that. So, coping first is a mindset. How do you see yourself and how do you see failure? Do you see it as the end, or it can be a stepping stone for a bigger thing? Yeah, I didn't make it here, but maybe it speaks to me that my strengths are elsewhere, isn't it? I didn't get this job or I didn't get this course, but I can navigate to still end up there one day, isn't it?
Sure.
And I've had countless stories of people in their 50s getting to do something they had desired to do when they were younger. It doesn't mean they have failed. Right now, to you, maybe 50 looks old. But I hope I'll be there when you're 50 to ask you what you think about it. But, you know, like 50 is the new 30. You know, like people are living to 100. So a guy or lady at 50 can actually discover something new about themselves that will give them great satisfaction. So now you're only 20 and you're already feeling like a failure. Hey, you know, can you see the perspective?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that you've taken your time to come to this show, and we've learned a lot. Personally, I've learned a lot. I hope everyone out there has learned, and I hope you took notes. I've learned a lot, and I pray you continue coming and teaching us more and more and more and guiding us. Yes, thank you, and I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, Catherine. I've enjoyed the conversation.
Welcome.